last problem. I'm going to use a highlighter as I go through this one. So you're at a store, you're trying to remember how much bread, meat, and cheese you were supposed to buy. So after, 10, 15 bazillion of these problems, my brain went, okay, wait a minute, we're doing systems with three variables. It's naming three different things. That's probably going to be my X, Y, and Z. Okay, keep that in your brain. So I'm going to keep reading. And it says, the bread costs $1 per loaf. So cost is a math word, per is a math word, and then $1, that's a math phrase. Okay, then it says the meat costs $4 per pound, and the cheese costs $3 per pound. And again, that bread, meat, and cheese, those are our main focuses. That's our X, Y, and our Z. You know that you are to buy 8 items. So we are buying total 8 items. Buy 8 items, and the total cost will be 17. So it's talking about totals there. That means somewhere in your brain you should go, oh, total cost, that means equals. Maybe not with the buy 8 items, but as you think about it, it will. And then this last little bit says, you're supposed to purchase 3 times as much cheese as meat. Okay, I see 3 times, and then it talks about cheese and meat, which we know is our variable, but the 3 times told me it's going to be important. All right, last sentence tells you what it is that we're going to be doing. It says, how many of each do you need to purchase? So that right there, how many of each is what we're solving. All right, let's identify our variables. X equals, we're going to go with bread. Now I'm not just going to write bread. I've got a specific measurement I'm using, and it's loaf. So X is going to be the number of loaves of bread. Number of loaves. Oops. All right, so X is the number of loaves of bread. Y is the meat, and meat is per pound. So the number of pounds of meat. And then it leaves Z to be the number of pounds of cheese. All right, now we just have to translate. So my next thought is, when I look at it, I say, okay, look, I've got some money right here, some money right here, money right here, and money right here. And we already talked about how 17 was a total. So I know that whatever my equation is, it's going to equal that $17. Now, $17 represents the total cost. So we need to figure out how much the bread cost, how much the meat cost, and how much the cheese cost, because if we add those values together, that should equal the $17. Well, each loaf of bread costs $1, and you multiply that by the number of loaves of bread. The $4 for meat, you would take $4 and multiply it by Y, the number of pounds of meat. And then that leaves the 3 pounds for cheese times the number of pounds of cheese that you get, which is Z. If I add those all up, I'm supposed to get $17. So that produces this equation with 3 variables. Okay, one down. Now let's move on to the next little piece. This one right here, it says buy 8 items. So I know there's an 8, obviously, and it says you're to buy 8 items. That to me says a total, but a total of what? We'll go back to our problems. X is the number of loaves of bread, Y meat, Z cheese. So how many ever loaves of bread plus how many ever pounds of meat plus the number of pounds of cheese. There's supposed to be 8 items altogether. 2 equations, but I've got 3 variables. So I have one more thing that I've got to translate. So this sentence right here, it says 3 times as much cheese as meat. Okay, I know what 3 times means. Cheese I called Z, and meat was y. So 3 times as much cheese as meat. So cheese is 3 times as much meat. All I did was rearrange some words in right there. 3 times as much cheese as meat. So z equals 3w. Y, sorry. I got to move that over to the other side, so it becomes negative 3w plus z equals 0. And that becomes my system. Let me draw an arrow to help us remember. Minus 3y. Okay, let's solve our system. Easy from here, yeah? Okay, get us an augmented matrix. Zero for x because there's none written. Okay, augmented matrix. We're going to pop over here to Desmos. I've entered it in. There's A, R, R, E, F, A. And it becomes, there's our nice ones and zeros, and we get a 4, 1, and a 3. So this is your augmented. And we turn that into our REF. Got our ones and zeros. I think that one was 1, 0, 0, 3. Double check. Yep, that's good. Okay, that means x equals 4, y equals 1, and z equals 3. But we're not looking for x, y, and z. What we're looking for is what they represented. So I'm going to go in here and turn it back into our actual problem. X is 4. That means that we need to buy 4 loaves of bread. Y is 1, so we need 1 pound of meat. And then Z is the number of cheese, so 3 pounds of cheese. That's it. Thank you. Bye-bye.